Well, guys, I need your help. I have been flip-flopping this week about this Ireland team. On the one hand, I'm thinking, is there a chink in the armour? Are they going to be able to win 3 titles in a row? And then on the other hand, I'm thinking, are a lot of us underestimating them? When I talk about France being the favourites, I still look at this Ireland team, I look at their fixtures, I look at this squad that they have named to face England, and they're still so dangerous. They are still so good. Are there a few weaknesses there though? I'll get into all of that in the video. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Alfie. I appreciate you clicking on this video and I hope you enjoy the Six Nations. I'm sure we're all really excited. So I'll go through the Ireland team. I'll do a full preview tomorrow, I think is my general plan. But have your say in the comments what you make of where Ireland are generally and what you make of the Matchday 23 that Simon Easterby has named. I was going to say Andy Farrell, but he is away with the Lions. So yes, have a say in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel. So as I say, I've been flip-flopping here because partly I look back on the autumn and I think, Ireland, they got 3 wins to be fair to them, but they did lose a game. And more importantly than even the results was they just didn't look quite as sharp. In particular, I think the attacking side of the game, how slick their attack used to be. Best in the world at one stage, didn't look quite as good. So I looked at that. I thought about the fact that Farrell being away and he's been so key for them, such a figurehead, what sort of impact does that have? And I do look at a few areas of the team. It's still so strong overall, I get that. In particular, the replacements on the bench in terms of the props. And I wonder if there's a chink. But then, as I say, I think the fact they've got England at home, the fact that they've got France at home, who, as I say, a lot of people, myself included this week on the channel, have been saying that they're the favourites. Some of those fixtures, I think, work in Ireland's favour. So where are you with it? I can't actually make up my mind. I'm flip-flopping all over the place. But let's get into the actual team selection, shall we? So the big headline, I think, is going to be the fact that Sam Prendergast is starting at fly half. He is the guy that, if you read the press in Ireland, you get the feeling that Andy Farrell views him as your long-term option. He's so similar in style to Johnny Sexton, and we know how good this team was when Johnny Sexton was there and running the attack, that you think they view Prendergast as the long-term option going forward, in particular for the World Cup in a couple of years' time. I have heard some people suggest that also he's got an eye on Prendergast for the Lions, which it wouldn't completely shock me, but I look at Finn Russell, Marcus Smith, Finn Smith, even a George Ford, who's not in the England Matchday 23 at the moment. I feel like there are other very good experienced fly-half options, so I'd be surprised if he was fast-tracking him just for the Lions later this year, but certainly for the World Cup it makes sense. And I'm really excited to see more of Prendergast. He's clearly super talented. He's had some absolutely brilliant moments. And what a responsibility, particularly when you know the pressure is on in a sense because of the expectation that the coaches, some of the fan base, view you as what you can do for this Irish team. But what an opportunity for him in Dublin against England, first game of the Six Nations. It means Jack Crowley is on the bench. And actually, a word on Jack Crowley here, because we all speak about Prendergast as if he's going to be a 100 capper. This is virtually his team now. If you were Crowley, where you're a fairly young guy, but what's his caps? Got on 19 caps, so he's getting a bit more experience. He's had some really good performances. I know he's had some shaky ones as well. But would you not feel a bit like, hang on a minute, everyone's writing me off a bit here? Would it not motivate you? Would it not light that fire a little bit? I just wonder whether we're going to see something from Jack Crowley. I hope we see it. And that he says, hang on, I'm not just going to step aside here and be the substitute fly half for the next 5-6 years. I'm going to fight for this jersey. And actually, I think Ireland have two good options there, ultimately, in the fly half position. So excited to see how Prendergast goes this weekend and more generally throughout the championship, and how that narrative builds, I suppose, between Crowley and Prendergast. Let me talk about the front row, though. So Andrew Porter obviously is named. Finlay Bealham, as we expected, is named because Tyg Furlong's injured. Look at the bench. It's the only glaring concern, I think, with this Irish team, really. Cian Healy, Thomas Clarkson. Thomas Clarkson, not too much experience. Cian Healy, absolutely bags of it. But what is he, 37 now? I need to double check that. Around that mark. He's been around a long time. I guess they'll ask Andrew Porter to do like 70 minutes and Cian Healy to come on for the final 10. But that's probably the only area you're looking at it. And I think you're justified in having some concerns. Maybe it's not going to matter against England, against the French, Possibly it could do, and I do think England will absolutely look at that and say, we need to be having an impact in the front row. We need to try and take advantage of that. The great thing for Ireland is Dan Sheehan returning. I wondered if he would start, but he's back on the bench. He is so good, so vital, automatically makes those hooking stocks look a lot stronger. Kelleher gets the opportunity to start, but Sheehan will come off the bench. And I know I've mentioned the prop replacements and that they're possibly a bit weaker. The rest of the forwards on that bench, super strong. Sheehan, Henderson, Conan, even Cian Healy, I know I'm saying in terms of his performance isn't as high, but his experience, like Conan, Henderson, Sheehan, awesome. Awesome quality and experience to be bringing off your bench, as well as a Conor Murray at 9, a Robbie Henshaw in terms of the centres. This is a really strong Ireland team. And have people been underestimating them? If they have, I think that is a brilliant place for Ireland to be. Going for 3 in a row, which would be an awesome achievement. I think it could be a great game in Dublin at the weekend. I am hoping that England produce more than what we saw from them in the autumn. I think it's a stronger England team. And despite the challenges for Ireland at the moment, you look at those players and the bulk of them have been there together and done it, have experienced beating New Zealand, have experienced being the #1 team in the world and playing some great stuff. James Lowe returning as well. He's absolutely huge for them. Borthwick spoke about that at the England squad announcement a couple of weeks ago, actually, how important James Lowe is for the Irish kicking game. The option he gives them with that massive left boot to be able to exit, so vital for them. I mean, Aki and Ringrose in the centres is almost everything the English centre partnership has been trying to look for years. 2 guys that are really experienced, that know their roles, that do their job so well. Gibson Park and what he brings to that attack has been absolutely brilliant. Ryan Baird, brilliant athlete in that back row. In fact, the back row battle, I suppose we'll call it. I'll maybe speak about this more when I do a preview chatting about both teams, but with Tom and Ben Curry and Ben Earl going up against Baird, Josh van der Fleer, Caelan Doris. Yeah, that's pretty tantalising, isn't it? And set piece is obviously going to be huge as well. England without Ollie Chesham, what do they do at the line out? The line out for Ireland was one of the areas that wasn't quite as strong either in the autumn. So set piece will be huge, physicality will be huge, but that is an experienced quality Irish side. But are there some minor, and it is very minor, chinks in that armour? Let me know what you make of it. I think it's going to be a brilliant weekend. I think it's going to be a brilliant game. As I say, I'll do a preview tomorrow. I'll try and do as many reaction videos to the games over the weekend as well. So comment down below, like the video as well whilst you're here, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Makes a massive difference. If I can build up the subscribers, grow the channel, yeah, that's a long-term aim. So enjoy the game. I'll see you in the next one.